What's going on, guys? How we doing? Sorry for the late start here. Got a lot of things going on at Benzinga, like always. Busy, but let's take a look into the market, find out what happened today. And it looks like we got ourselves a technology takedown as it's the leading sector to the downside today. Find out what was in the green. Just barely energy, but we'll get into that action. Let's take a look here at the SPY. Let's take a look at the swing trades and got some that closed today. Some in the green, of course, but some I didn't want to see them get hit today. But tell you one thing, only in one stock now. So definitely saw some selling today. And that was all based off of the downturn, right? And one thing that's for certain, I definitely don't like to get to the point where I get caught in downside action. So today, taking profits in the markets. And the important part there is I like to take profits before the market takes it from me. Today, we got that downside action in the SPY, the Qs going lower, NVIDIA just getting nailed today, down 15% from the open is a scary sign, right? Because this was the AI stock, the savior of AI. Or at least that's what a lot of people are saying, right? And it looks like it doesn't want 500, rejecting to go back up there and just coming right back down to support. Of course, the range here in NVIDIA is pretty wide. So one thing that I'll say is that it's not broken just yet. It actually needs to go further for it to be completely broken. And that would be maybe coming back towards like 450 or 400. But for right now, you start to cut down through the 9 EMA and the concern starts to weigh in. So that's what I can see in the market today. Concern coming in. Microsoft, that was just looking good. Still hanging on to the 332 spot, which is actually a good level to watch. I was talking about that I wanted to see it hold that 332 so that it could have an inside type of day and then take out the high from Tuesday, 334.85. That's what I'm going to be looking at here. We'll see what happens. Can it get the lift or not? Something definitely to keep an eye out for. Microsoft had a strong day on Tuesday. Not that bad of a day today, even though Apple is just getting wrecked today. I took my profits or break even actually on the rest of it at 86. Look how it's back down to 181 today. And this doesn't mean that I think it's completely done, but this is the important reason of why I took some profits into the 189 as it's back down to the 181. And then Chevron, as we get into the oil game, let's talk a little bit about that one. I took the profits off on this one. This one reversed right back to the upside. So who knows what happens here? I got cut out at 166. I kept looking at the gush today to see if that was going to come back. That did come back in the later part of the day, 41.38s. We'll see if this can continue to run. Of course, the important thing is keeping your eyes on WTI. If I take a look at WTI, I see it at 87.67, and it touched 88 today. So this is the levels that I'm watching now. Cut through 85. Be careful for a flip in energy. But if we can hold, get to the 90s, 88s, and above, yeah, these stocks look like they want to continue to rip. And it's going to also affect different names, right? Like even coal players is something to keep an eye out for as we're seeing those go higher. I'll take a look here. Basic materials. You can see even that turned around today. It was looking good. But man, when that numbers came out and it just showed the weakening, look at this, guys. There's not many times where I just see nothing but red. And right now, the only thing in the green, communication services, even financial services dropping off today. JPM coming back, though, towards the end of the day. So that's one thing to keep an eye out for. The KRE, man, this was the outlook that I probably should have stuck on as this came back down to 43s. Yesterday, we were taking this in the 45s. This could have been a big win if I would have just gone for a swing on the KRE short. This doesn't look too bad. Another one that I'm keeping an eye on in this, of course, is kind of a leader, TFC. I was shorting this one in the 31s, back down to 29s. We'll see what happens on TFC. All right, energy, of course, pulling back. Names like ExxonMobil staying strong, though. We'll see if this can continue staying strong. Of course, it just did a kind of a little bit of a pullback. Can the XLE make it through the 92, 80 area and actually make it back to 93? We'll find out. All right, guys, smash the like. I'm sorry I'm a little late there. What's going on, Raz? How we doing it? Uh, that's definitely one way of putting it. For example, the SQQQ price versus the QQQ's price. I don't know if this is the right place to ask, but do ETF's actual price versus the index follow relevant, or is it just direction? It should follow pretty close, right? I mean, take a look at the SQQQs. The SQQQs were getting a nice little pump. If you look at this, this should look like the opposite of the Qs, right? And if you see it, it kind of looks like the opposite of the Qs, but really remember that these are leveraged. So they're going to look a little bit different. They could have more reactions than the others. And so if you look at the TQQ, look how that one's kind of in the red there compared to the SQQQ. So if you wanted to compare one that looks exactly like it, you would look at the TQQQ versus the QQQs. So that's what I would say, Raz. If you want to compare SQQQ, look at the opposite, which is TQQQ, and then you can see that action from the Qs, right? That's just one way to look at it. I know it gets confusing, Raz. It's a good question that you asked about, though. All right, let's keep going, guys. Financial services definitely going to be something I'm going to watch to see if we leak right back down. Some of these areas weaker than others, but we'll keep watching to see if financials can come back. If they come back, the tech rally, I feel like, can come back. But if we start to see, financial concerns coming into the market, we start to see cyclicals starting to come down. We start to see kind of different plays showing recession concern. That's when we got to be careful. That's easily how you start seeing a turnaround in this market. Of course, after a really strong day yesterday, Netflix kind of pulling back a little bit today. We'll see what happens on a name like this. It does look like it's trying to get back through 450, kind of an inside day. Can it get back there tomorrow? We'll see if we have a bullish day tomorrow. All right, let's keep going, guys. It looks like we're getting more of you guys joining in. Like I said, sorry about the late start here. Hit the thumbs up. Let's keep going. Let's take a look at stocks that you guys want to take a look at. Of course, throw them up in the chat. I'll definitely go ahead and leave some time for some ticker time. Let's talk a little bit also about AAL, as this is the only one that I still have right now. And it didn't look bad earlier. It looked like it was kind of getting a nice little lift there to 1475. I want to add to this name. I've been looking for a move closer towards the 1410s. Today we got that. I wasn't able to add at 1410s earlier on the day, but definitely going to keep a watch on to see if we get a move to 14 tomorrow, and then look to see this start to lift. I can add one more time on this position. I have an average of 1494, and I want to make sure that when I add, I'm starting to get some plus side action on the daily chart. And right now, it needs to get back above this 9 EMA. And so if I can draw kind of just a simple trend line and just look at that, I can do that also. It needs to start working its way back here to 1490s. And that's really when we can start turning this around. We'll see what happens there in American. All right, what's going on out there? Oxy being mentioned in the chat. That's one to keep an eye out for. A nice little pullback on the day today, even though some stocks are in the green. This could make a little move towards the end of the day. Big takedown there at the beginning part as it did a little bit of a bull trap. But energy's still hot. At least oil prices still seem hot. All right, let's keep going. PI over 70 now, seeing some calls buying after insider buy. Interesting stock to keep an eye out for. Let's go to the daily chart on this. Kind of like a rounding bottom there. Doesn't look too bad. Big level to watch right here. This close here, 69.22. And the high here, or the open actually, the 70.84. Let's see if you can get it past that 70.84. That's going to be a big level. Could it act as resistance? Warren having his Coke, his celebration somewhere. Oh man, Coke is coming down fast. Not something that I want to touch. I did see discount stores going higher today. Walmart with a nice little move higher. So if you're looking for a stock that stayed strong, look at this trend. That's a trend that's staying strong, right? It tried the reverse, couldn't get through the 50, held the 50, started making its way back up. Walmart staying strong here. Costco staying strong. Target, that's still weak. DG was trying to turn things around, and then it went just downside look. That's where you got to be careful on a stock like Dollar General. Literally a trap on the 5-minute. That looked good. And then boom, smack down there. Roku gave it all back, and I'm kind of annoyed on this one. I was talking about on live trading shorting the 92. I mean, the 92 short today, that would have been a killer trade. I would have been about 8 points and 25 cents. Why did I like this? Is because I thought this was just going to come back, right? Did I think it was going to come back to 85? I would probably have taken it closer towards like 87. But I mean, that would have been still 5 points. Not a bad little move right back down on Roku. And could Roku come back? Yeah, it actually could. It's interesting though. Cutting 10% of workers isn't growth, I assume. I don't think that was necessarily the move and why it came back down. I think it was just because technology took such a hit today. But that's just my outlook, right? Amazon not doing too good after having a pretty decent daily chart, right? It started to look good. Now it's trying to do that throwback look, though. So if it can hold 35 here, this isn't going to be looking too bad to work its way back up. And I can kind of look off of Amazon to try to maybe play shop, as shop pulled back a little bit here, but not enough for me to come after it. And that tells me also that I want to keep an eye on Amazon, because if shop takes off, I think Amazon will also follow suit. I'm just going to keep a close eye on it. All right, let's keep going. Raz says I use IBKR for trading today. It wasn't acting properly. Anybody else? Well, anybody that uses IBKR, go ahead and if you have any comments on that, throw it up in the chat. And always reach out to your brokerage. If you're seeing something fishy, you're seeing something not work right, don't be scared to ask questions and give them a call. Get them on the phone. It'll definitely help you. All right, let's keep going, guys. Let's take a look at what else is making moves in the market. Healthcare has just been getting wrecked as of late. Daily charts pulling back to support. Can we find some support here? That's something to watch. We were talking about this yesterday on Lilly. Would it start to make a down move? And it's been hanging in there, but I don't know. I don't know if to trust this move or not. Merck here has been coming back down from the 110 area. This could break 105 and then really start coming down. It looks like a big head and shoulders here. So I'd keep a watch to see if this can turn around. Move back down through 105 could really start being the breakdown that moves us to 100 and back to 90s. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at some other areas of the market. Industrials starting to pull back, and I did see CAT up on the day, so there was some strength here. As CAT looks to reload there at the 280s, I can look at Deere to say maybe take the shot here on the 410s. I'm looking for a little bit more chop. I want to see a little bit more sideways action, but this is not a bad one, especially as I'm seeing CAT up, Deere down. You normally don't see that too often. We'll see if that reverses. Lily is acting like I don't give an F on what's happening. I agree. People want to lose weight. I mean, that's a whole nother conversation, Raz. Let's keep going. AI not making a move today, just hanging in there, right? We'll see what happens. Earnings after the bell for this AI stock, C3 AI. And I'll tell you one thing. I'm not betting either way. If I had to take a bet, I would bet to the downside. But man, this is going to be interesting. This could actually break the AI names or keep them going. If for some reason it just gets a ridiculous rally, I could see some AI names lifting. And if it doesn't, I could also see them get the takedown. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what else is going on in the market today. It's just been a tough one, and it's going to be a tough one moving forward. Also, utilities pulling down today. What's going on with Hawaiian Electric as it keeps going down now? You got to be careful on a name like this. I think this is going to maybe continue to leak, but you always got to be careful with a name like this that could squeeze at any moment. All right, that is the utilities. Consumer cyclical also pulling back there. Gambling getting a little lift today. As of course, what do you get in one day? NFL season, right? And with that being said, you're seeing DraftKings take off here. You're seeing different stocks kind of get a little bit of a lift. Look at RSI getting that lift today. So maybe I just played the wrong ones here for the NFL trade, as DraftKings going up, but Penn still going down here. Just shows me maybe we just played the wrong one, Mitch. So DraftKings having a decent day today, and wasn't a bad opportunity there in the 25-40s on that pre-market day. We were looking for 25s in the open. It just didn't get there. Not Penn, though. Yeah, you got it, James. The one I'm playing, of course. Yeah, I know how it goes, James. Don't worry. I played Penn too. I was expecting it to get the lift, and it just didn't get it. So, hey, that's how it goes sometimes. You win some, you lose some. On this one, it's looking like we're going to lose some on that Penn outlook. But hey, can DraftKings keep going? We'll see. I think DraftKings could have like a nice, like maybe 2-day rally, and then eventually going into Monday could be a kind of more of a sell the news. We'll find out. All right, let's keep going, team. It's about 3:49. We're going to wrap up in about 10 minutes. We'll leave a little bit of ticker time here. So if you guys have any tickers you guys want to check out, let's go ahead and take a look at them. I have been taking a look at Carvana today. Let's take a look at how it's ending the day here. It's kind of a little bit in a chop, right? And I think we got to continue to watch, but it's trying to hold pullback looks here off of the pullback towards 47 and 48. Of course, this stock has remained strong all year long. And with interest rates as high as they are and used cars sales probably making more sense than new car sales, maybe this can continue to lift. I'm just going to keep a watch on it. Back above, let's say 53.23s. Yeah, it can get that 55 and 58 run. Back down through 45 and 40. And this could easily start to break. But I'm not going to get in front of it right here because I feel like I'm getting in front and could pay the price for it. All right, Kathy names today. ARK Invest starting to come down after having a really good day the last couple of days. Unity staying strong, though. So if you're looking for a stock that stayed strong, look how this one's starting to come back here towards the end of the day. Not looking too bad. CRISPR getting a nice little lift today. I know Path reports today, and that's going to be an interesting report here. Looks like Path did a split. Is that why it's at 16? I remember it being cheaper than that. You guys let me know. Did Path do a split? I think I would see it on the chart. I don't see the split there. Maybe I got it wrong, but Path is trying to come back up. This is the Kathy favorite. She's been loading and loading in this thing. So we'll see how it reports after tonight. There's a lot to take a look at on the report. All right, let's take a look at GME. What say Jets? Yeah, we can take a look at Jets. I got no problem with that. Of course, GME will report also. My bet's to the downside on GME, but hey, you never know what can happen with GameStop, right? We'll see what happens. I'm not going to take a bet short on this because it's just asking for it. We'll see what happens there. Weight Watchers, what's going on in Weight Watchers? All kind of call buying? Oh, man. USA is fat. Yeah, that's a tough one to say there, Jay, but you're right. We'll see what happens here. Nice little daily chart. It's holding well, actually, and starting to climb. We'll see if it can make its way back here towards 1160s and 12, but pretty decent day there in Weight Watchers. Jets. Let's look at the daily chart. It is trying to hold here. Let's see where we can see it kind of grab. And I'll go to the weekly to try to find the clear support. So you can see how this was acting as support over here, then acted as kind of resistance. Now it's been acting as resistance. So I'm actually going to draw that up a little bit to 1920, kind of extend this bottom trend line. Would want to see that kind of hold here off of this kind of pullback and not break that. So let's say if it goes through 18, this trade's done for me. I want it to hold resistance to the left. So maybe it's right over here, starting to recover. So that's about the 1860 area, 1850s. Want this to get back there towards 19 and show me some strength. It's a good risk to return because you got an outlook that maybe gets back to 20, 21, and 22. So nice little profit outlook. But like always, you just got to know your risk and reward. We'll see what happens there. Gate spot another 1.3 million Bud. Ooh. Let me take a look at Bud. How is Bud doing? It is starting to get a little bit of a lift there and has balanced out a pretty good amount. We'll see if it's able to hold this pullback. I think you just got to stay close, right? If you stay close there and you hold off of like, let's say 50s and it doesn't break 50s, I can see why institutions are trying to pick this, right? They're trying to just get something on the cheap. We'll see if it works out. All right, let's keep going, guys. It's 65 of you guys out there. Smash the like. Let's go. Let's get some more people in here. And of course, if you guys have any ticker you guys want to take a look at, throw it up. Now's your opportunity. Let's go to the SPY and see what was the best stocks in the SPY and see if we see any kind of correlation here. You can see Charter Communication as of late getting a nice little lift. Of course, this is Spectrum. So we'll see what happens on this one. Can it start pushing back? Doesn't look too bad. CCL, Carnival Cruise, getting a little bit of a bounce. That's something to keep an eye out for. NCLH now starting to turn around, and it held at 16 pretty well. So if we start to see the airlines come back, I might take some cruise lines. So I'm going to use these side by side. Boba, if you're talking about jets, if I see jets start to take off, I might go for some leisure play in the cruise lines. I kind of like the cruise lines overall. I think they're going to continue to book and book and book cruises. And I think that if anything, you're going to get a massive, maybe kind of bookings for the next summer. And with the new ships that are out there, I do see them pretty much packed to the top. So with that being said, you can also keep up with cruise lines by looking at like Google Trend data, right? You can take a look at Norwegian and see how the data is looking, or you can look up like Booking and see how that's working. That's another way to kind of use story to get after a stock and then maybe find a really good play. We'll see what happens there in Norwegian. And you can take a look, of course, at RCL back above 100. RCL holding and not coming back towards like, let's say 80s or 60s tells me something that I do want to ask access to these names. It's just going to be about what timing do I get? That's going to be the thing that I'll be looking at. We'll see what happens to this. All right. Technology, of course, leading the downside action. What did really bad in technology today? I'll take a look there from the Qs to see what kind of got hit the most. ENPH, NVIDIA, Apple, definitely some names to definitely keep an eye out for. Lucid coming right back down. I'm going to put a warning out there, man. I've talked about this before in Lucid that I thought it would get down there and could potentially disappear. I'm really starting to get concerned about Lucid. And one thing to mention, man, did the CEO pay himself lovely payout there for Lucid Motors. And I love how Elon put it out there. Hey, you might want to invest in companies that performance of the stock actually matters to the CEO. If not, does he really care about the stock? Something to think about, guys. Elon said it. It wasn't me. All right, let's keep going, guys. That's definitely something to keep an eye out for. We'll see what happens there on Lucid if it goes lower. And this is why I don't like lithium names right now, because when Tesla does bad, when these kind of names start to kind of pull back significantly, you got to be careful on these lithium names. They could be coming down fast here. LAC also started to make its way back, now using 19 as resistance. At some point, these lithium names are going to move. The only question is, what's that timing like, right? All right, we'll see what else is going on. Lucid disappearing. We'll see it. We'll see if it actually happens. I guess the CEO might disappear first. Yeah, happens to them all. ALB, bad day. Yes, bad day there for specialty chemicals. And like I talked about it, a lot of that action goes with Tesla. Today, Tesla getting red today. We'll see if it can get back to 260. If not, this is starting to act as some kind of resistance above, and it could come right back towards kind of the 230 area. You can see if you kind of extend this line, it can kind of come back here towards this. And so as long as if it gets back above, let's say 260s, yeah, you can see Tesla keep squeezing. But if it starts using this as resistance and 260s can't get through, it could come right back down to the 220s. We'll see what happens. Definitely some resistance up here towards the 260s. All right, that's going to do it for us, guys. It's 3:58. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the show. You guys can keep an eye out on some lodging. That did pretty actually decent today. Of course, I was keeping an eye out on what's going on with Airbnb. Of course, it got added to the S&P 500, and you can see how that gave it the lift. But today, kind of going sideways. So let's see tomorrow if it comes back for the 140 or the 144 for the upside move. I'll keep an eye on that. And I think that's something definitely to keep a watch on. MGM, that I kind of wanted just a couple of days ago, stopping me out yesterday and then coming back today. So this could be one to maybe play for that NFL trade if I wanted to come back after it. I'd have to hold off the 43s. We'll see if this can start coming back tomorrow to 44, 45, 46. And also keep an eye out on like Win to see if it can go back into the green. This also could be kind of the negatives that are coming from China, right, that are affecting these stocks. All right, that's going to do it for me, guys. Like always, smash the like. I'll see you guys bright and early on pre-market prep. Until then, like always, hit the like button, hit the comments down below, hit me up on the Twitter if you guys have any question on the market, stocks, themes you want to think about. It could be long-term, short-term, medium-term, small cap, mid-cap, large cap. I cover them all. You guys know me, Money Mitch. I'll see you guys bright and early on pre-market prep. Hit the like button. Like always, right here, Benzinga has it all for you.